I knew I wanted to write a song about this horrible feeling when you lose someone and they're not hurting. I think that that's like one of the worst things you can go through. Like you've already dealt with the breakup, you've dealt with this being ripped from under you. Now you're watching that person not even care. And that has happened to me on multiple occasions because I've gotten into something thinking that it meant more than it did. So I really wanted to like find a balance of like such a sad perspective into I hope all at once it hits you. And then in that moment, I hope you're just like, oh my God, because that happens often. You know, I've been on the other side of it. I've been the fuck boy that hurt someone and then month later I miss the guy and he's moved on, you know?
Mm.
So I went into it really confident, knowing what I wanted to say, knowing what I wanted it to sound like. And I gave you guys some like voice memos from like the early stages of this, and like the top lines were there, the feelings were there. Both the voice notes I sent you guys like are I'm sure you guys write we write the same, but it's like there's like a gibberish that comes out as you're like top lining. And like certain things, like I would just be like, I don't want to be the bigger person. Like it would just come in, and I knew exactly what I wanted to say.
Right.
So I went into this session super confident, and also it was really cathartic because after a whole year of like collaboration, it was nice to be like, I'm gonna write this angsty song by myself. And it was nice.
Mm. In today's culture, where so much connection happens, on smartphones through apps, there's more choice than ever before. I'm curious, do you think just dating and intimacy is changing? Because to me, your song is a reflection of a change. And I'm curious if that's like in your mind as you were bringing this song to life.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, 100% intimacy has changed. And I think that like we just have so many options. You know, I live in New York City. So it's like there's so much anonymity in the city. Like there's people moving in every month, you know? So I feel a little bit like because we live in a society, and I don't want to get too deep here. I'm also not like, I don't want to say I'm the wisest person in the world, but for what I feel, being placed in a position where my value is so up for debate because I'm putting myself out there, right? I feel like because we're in a society where like liking someone's picture or liking a song or like it's like so easy for us. It feels so normal for us to just like affirm someone or not affirm or ignore like that. We've lost a little bit of respect for each other. And especially in dating, ghosting is so widely accepted now. And like,
That's
blocking is so like widely accepted. And it's like, you know, whether you like meet someone for the first time on Tinder and you go on a date and like, I'll see you soon, and then they block you, or like, you talk to a guy for 3 weeks and then 4 weeks, 4 dates in, he just never answers you again. To me, I feel like that's really just a direct result of having so many options. It's like, well, why would we go through any uncomfortable feeling of having an honest discussion with someone about our feelings when it would be so easy to just not? There's so many other people. So I feel like with Hope You Cry, there's a huge part of kind of what you're saying where it's like taking the role of the person that like really did feel something for this person as being like, you know, I dropped a little like Easter egg on the behind the lyrics where I was like, it's been 4 weeks and you're talking to someone else on Hinge. You can just restart your app again, and pretend that like what we had just had for multiple months like was nothing when we like spent weekends upstate together and we, had deep conversations in bed together. Like it's just crazy that it's just like, oh, okay, LOL. Just
totally
kidding.
plus one. Agree. Like all the
Like,
above.
like, like, I
Yeah.
was
So,
gonna, I was gonna say in the last, I really wanted to say it because it's on the same kind of world. So my manager lately has been like pushing me on YouTube Shorts. God bless her, she's incredible. And she was like, "I'm uploading everything you're doing to TikTok and Instagram on YouTube Shorts," and I'm like, "Yay, cool, love it." But I've just like not been really thinking about it. But YouTube trolls are, in my opinion, the meanest, and some of them are so intense that I just don't understand. Someone commented on a video of me a couple days ago, and they said this is really bad content. That was what they said, right? Then someone commented under, yeah, kinda, like it's kinda lame. And then the guy that put the original comment goes, no, not kind of. This is really bad content, and he deserves to know that he put this out in the world, and he should be ashamed of what he's doing. He deserves to feel bad for doing this. I replied to that guy and I was like, LOL, this is so intense because that's just like, it's so easy. Like that person, maybe they're an 8-year-old, God bless them. But the fact that that person feels okay to like say that to me is just like so funny because you would never go up to someone like that and say that in real
sure.
life, you
I
know?
find the "yeah, kinda" to be the most devastating.
Yeah, kinda.
Yeah, kind of.
It's okay. I genuinely I kind of like low key love hate comments for some
Yeah.
reason. It's like it gets me excited because I'm like, yay, people are mad. I love it.
It's better that somebody hates something or loves something than feels somewhere in the middle.
Yeah, they always say the opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference. So I'd rather not have indifference.
You're on to something if you're eliciting strong emotions. How do
I
you
agree.
think about the public when you think about making your music or you think about your career as a whole?
I wish I could say I was like unapologetically the artist, but I definitely put a lot of thought into how things will be received. As Jamie said earlier, like I'm the CEO of this whole thing and like no one is going to be it for me
Yeah.
unless I like kind of champion myself. So I'm in a stage right now where like every move I make, I want it to be multiple steps forward. So I do think about the public in the sense of like maybe decisions I've made with songs and stuff like that. You know, I have hundreds of songs that I am never going to put out because I feel like maybe they won't connect at this moment, or they're too far fetched, or they're not sonically yummy enough. I had an EP album ready last year. It was called "Be a Good Boy," and it was so good. I loved it so much, and we ended up scrapping it because we just felt like I didn't have enough listeners to like have them all be heard. So we were like, let's do droplets again, like all of 2023, and then drop an EP. And even with that, it's like single, 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 single EP, like is gonna have the 4 singles I did plus 2 new ones. You know, I'm releasing in a way that's like tickling the Spotify algorithms balls to like get the general public to listen. I will say though, and this might sound cocky, but I deserve to affirm myself. I most of the time feel I just want people to hear this. As long as they hear this, they will like it. And even if they don't, I know that there's a huge handful of people that will love it. And so I tend to not be scared of the public disliking me. I'm scared of the public not hearing me, if that makes
Mm.
sense.
And you still, I mean, for Be a Good Boy, you made a record that you love, and that's amazing. Like,
Yeah. And
all
now
of
they
it
just
doesn't
live
matter.
on my computer.
If you ever want to leak it, let us know.
Yes.
I'm curious where, kind of two-part question, where your biggest challenges are as someone who's trying to be the CEO of their own career, which is hard on top of being an artist, and then where you think the industry kind of needs to go.
Well, first of all, just underlining, bolding the statement of on top of being an artist. That's something that's like so funny and like true because it's like not everyone's an artist. Some people are just born it. And for a lot of us, it's a curse, you know? It's like I was reading some of the interviews. I don't know if I already, the interview questions earlier. I don't know if we might have already talked about this, but like what, there was the word choose. Like, why have you chosen a life in music? And I was like, oh, baby, I did not choose.
Good
Like,
for you.
it's genuinely all that I want. It's all that I think about. I wish I could go be like marketing executive or like a doctor or something else, you know. But anyway, so on top of being an artist, that's the real thing there. It's like we naturally have like thinner skin because we're meant to feel things and like, you know, it's hard to do that. So that's already hard. And like I was saying previously, I think more than anything, exposure, being heard, you know, people that are getting opening slots for artists are typically on the same label, or they have a manager that's in with this person, or they're getting a tour festival lineup. There's people that got Pride festival positions, and I'm not shading anyone because art is again subjective, but like, you know, I could have landed some big Pride gigs this summer and I was on tour, but you know, there's people that had a tenth of my monthly listeners on those bills. You know, some of them may have had connects. And so I think more than anything, getting opportunities and getting exposure right now is my hardest. It's like, how can I grow my fan base exponentially? Because you kind of need to grow exponentially. You can't just grow like little by little. And on the flip side of that, I spent a lot of time being upset last year because my success truly in 2022, I will say it right now on the record, I owe so much of it to Spotify. I got like 13 editorial playlists last year. And like it started with Fresh Finds and then they kept putting me on everything. They put me on some like really big ones that I never thought would matter, like a workout playlist or a commuting playlist, but they just got me so many follows and fans. So Spotify and live performing really like blew me up in 2022, none of it was from TikTok. So for a long time, I felt bitter. I was like, I should do TikTok. I need to do TikTok. What am I doing? And I noticed kind of this year that we're seeing the negative sides of TikTok virality. Like
Yeah.
people are having a song blow up. They're getting a deal from Atlantic. And then their next song doesn't perform as well because it doesn't go viral, because some of those people just saved it and then they're dropped. And I think that this is kind of putting a real downer on like loving an artist. I feel like we're entering an
Yes.
era of loving songs, like not really caring about who they're from, just loving them. And me and my manager and the people that I care about, we've had a long conversation. Like I have cried over this. Like this is my life, right? And I've been like, you know what? I don't need TikTok virality. I want to keep building my fan base, like grassroots, little by little. And I want them to love everything I'm making. And I want them to come to my shows and buy my merch. And that's kind of what's helped me kind of get through this negative side of it, which is like exposure and stuff like that. I've been like, you know what? Well, I'm getting exposure. It might not be a viral TikTok video yet, but I kind of would rather make jumps in my monthly listeners little by little. You know, I've had friends that had a viral song on TikTok, and I have a friend that has 4 million streams on a viral song on TikTok, but that was it. Like it blew up, and then now her next single has underperformed. And then that fucks with her head because she's like, am I not good enough? And it's like, no, you are, but you just got like very lucky. Anyway, I'm sorry if I ramble, but answer to your question, exposure is what I really need. And as far as where the industry is going, I feel like it's getting a tiny bit too fickle, in my opinion.
Yeah.
We cannot keep just being obsessed with viral TikTok songs. Like, I'm opening Instagram and no shade, but like all I'm hearing is that freaking like makeba, makeba, like it's the only song I'm hearing, and my ears are tired of that song. I'm like, can we not only obsess over one sound? Like, sorry to rant.
No, I think that the best advice I've ever gotten from people in the music industry is like, if you're not ready to do the thing that you put out every day for 2 years, like, don't seek the industry, because that is what they're built to do. They're meant to take whatever's working for you and pour gasoline all over it. And these people who are uploading songs to TikTok and they're going viral, it's amazing for them. But it's almost unfair to expect people who are so early in their career as artists to want to do that thing over and over and over and over again. And I think the fact that you are building slowly and little by little is going to give you the foundation and the confidence that if and when something does connect on a really, viral or, that level, you won't have to worry about repeating it, and you
Yeah.
won't have to worry about how that makes you feel. So, like, I don't have, much more experience, but don't let that shake you down, because like it's the superpower that like if you get the chance to be on that stage, like at least you'll know like you have a base.
Yeah. And I love hearing you say that. I think that's like really good advice and I really absorb it. So thank you.
Sure.
I I feel like you will relate, but like being on tour this month, to me, it's like that was the most affirming experience. You know, I played a show in Toronto and a lot of people knew my songs in that audience, you know, and like I have a song called Kim Kardashian and people had a picture of Kim Kardashian on their phone. And it just felt like,
Yeah.
oh wow, like I don't think about this on a day-to-day basis. I found a fan in DC who doesn't have social media. He just like found me on a Spotify playlist and like was shaking to meet me. And it's like he doesn't care how many TikTok followers I have. And
Exactly.
so it felt I feel like it's when you were speaking, I kept thinking of something that someone told me a while back where it's like, if you don't know who you are, then someone will tell you who you are. And I really feel like this
Totally.
is like a great example of that. It's like being confident in who you are as an artist and what you offer, like aside from virality, is like key.
So yeah, what I would add to that is like somebody will, as a musician, somebody will always tell you what you are. But if you're not confident in who you are, then what they say will change you.
I would say it's even worse than that as the tech guy, which is the algorithm will tell you.
Oh,
Well, because the way these were designed was not to increase the interest and diversity in art or music. It was to serve people more of what they already like. So if you want to perform, you by definition are very much going to get cast into like, essentially existing performing content rather than something that may actually reflect your artistic experience.
100%. I also like something that really frustrates me, and it might be out of left field, but I really feel it's important to say because I want to just keep being said. Something that I feel that I deal with often, and a lot of other artists, I make amazing pop songs, and they just so happen to be written about men. Like, it's not like I'm singing songs being like, let's go to the gay club and do poppers. And like, I'm not singing these things, you know what I mean? So it's like, but
What would be cool?
every month, like without exception, like when I'll get bunched in with other queer artists in playlists that don't make sense. And it bothers me. And I'm not saying I don't appreciate huge LGBTQ fronted like movements from Spotify and Apple Music and stuff like that. But like, I make pop music. Like, I don't make queer music. My music is pop. My music is queer because I'm queer. But I feel like I really, really hate that. That really bothers me. I don't even know what made me want to say this. I think algorithm or whatever what you were
Yeah,
talking about.
yeah,
It's like,
no,
It's like
for sure.
lack of nuance
yeah,
in the algorithm as it is currently.
yeah.
Yeah.
It bothers me because it makes me feel like it's like, okay, well, we're not taking a second to like think about the sonics and the writing and like the production. We're only thinking about writes about boys.
Yeah.
This
Well,
is
also,
a boy. Like,
I think when I hear your point, which is actually a very important, I think, thing to say. So thank you for saying it, which is like representation is important, but not to the extent that it becomes like a way to quarantine content, right?
yeah,
The whole point is that it doesn't matter on some level, right?
yeah. I think, let it be huge on every publication about me until I want queer kids at home that are in the closet to see openly queer, openly gay artists. I want to see that. But like that, I don't think that should put me in my own league. Like I want to play with everyone else, you
Yeah, you
know?
don't feel like there's a ceiling.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's your sign?
My sign?
Mhm.
I'm a Cancer. I'm like such a Cancer, watery crybaby girl.
I love.
Like,
It's your birthday soon?
yeah, it's July 7th. It's really soon. Comes out.
Yeah.
It's my birthday's 2 days after Hope You Cry comes out, which is the best gift ever. I'm like, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna do it. I'm not gonna do anything either. I'm just gonna like the song is gonna come out. I'm gonna celebrate that, and then I'm gonna like spend my whole birthday alone, like, and just like order a large pizza. And I'm rewatching Desperate Housewives right now. That is to me a day that I don't think about my career is like, ooh, I'm fantasizing about it right now, guys.
Just 1 week. Just one more week.
Yeah.
Do you go to a certain season of Desperate Housewives, or is it just pilot
Oh,
episode?
I'm rewatching the whole thing. I started on the pilot. I'm on season 3 now. Mike lost his memory because of the car accident when he gets run over. I'm loving it. I'm literally loving it.
Marsha Cross, I believe, right? She's a
Agree.
true treasure.
Marsha Cross. Oh, I mean, all of them. I love Eva Longoria.
Mm-hmm.
I love rewatching a show so much after the original because you're like, you just get a different energy. I also love how things age poorly. Like Eva Longoria
Yes.
having an affair
Yes.
with her 16-year-old gardener. Like that would not fly today.
No.
The storyline of Carlos where he keeps accidentally gay bashing the gay guys. It's just like so iconic. Sorry.
There's nothing to be sorry for. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being a part of Major and for sharing not only the song, but the story and the effort and the love that you put into it. And I think also on behalf of all independent artists, kind of representing a different vision for where music and the experience that fans have of music can improve and get better. So we just appreciate you and everything that you've contributed.
Oh, thank you. And I also want to say, I said it already, but like, I'm so grateful to have the opportunity to do this. This is such a special song, and you guys have made this moment so much more special for me by giving this opportunity for me to talk to my fans in like such a private and intimate way. And even just having this conversation, having moments to really be affirmed in like the hard work I'm doing that can be so tiring and thankless at times. It just really has fueled my soul. And I'm just really, really, really grateful.
We're
Well,
lucky to have you.
Yay!
happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
Bye, Bentley.
Bye. See you guys later. Wow.